to anamo.
If you had a sanaba some no debt sonkuno, a wafin pinini juni na ye muno na abo, me mawajama or by the over fast news so. A master sense my and sakan or memo. Any amount who just a day abob one as on so. A legukata so mamma and a media some more. In some mamma Japan baking kind of mamma or dear mobetier, I must soon be any. Dr. Alhaji Baumia Dinsimbi, Abatua Bontene Afa mining export tax and home. Samson as swap for Shemo from my mema, and I think so man sign bonbon so abon my shabby for. Abaso in some minutes more direct and one a magic penny, Eddie Ebersumidi, Edina Naka dancer. Brennan need your constituency in Chemo. O may man penini ability no koya need to fanka Ediama MPP amanyoko no ye Dr. Muhammadu Baumia nene wababeka side ya to justice na akopon ya adom na afia bato ko na wie na so be yo man penina eye mining exporters no obeye no hanchiche mu back 1%.
Given our strategic intention to realize higher production volumes, to refine locally and support gold for oil and gold for reserve programs for a stable currency, I intend to reduce the withholding tax from 1.5% currently to 1% next year, God willing, under my presidency.
Yeah, to akasie no eso na affirmative action bill. Emro enebe mama kwanya na etimide ye ho ahia amanesemu na se koba no ginesie bia mu ye decision making so a ebetimi abini wo mo no ma hyebedwafo age atomo ama no de ni je sonko na abefie ne na nanam so amaswafo a wo hwe ma mofra emema na afinsa mansan ahobambo nsam so eyo nimonyamfo da ko an human ene wabo ma hyebedwafo na baso se eye affirmative action bill no wage atomo
2024. We're all aware that finally, the Affirmative Action Bill is now an Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024. And so I'd like to begin by thanking everybody who has been involved for our president's support. I've been liaising with him on it since I took office. He's been very interested in it. I'd like to thank Parliament, the 8th Parliament. If you followed their discussions, they did most of the work on the floor. And so looking at their numbers, I mean, there was no way it would pass without the men of, we are just 14.55% of the women in Parliament. And so we thank the men a lot. We are here today discussing this because of them. As I said, the bill was passed on the 30th of July. I've heard a lot of people saying, has the president signed it? And I would like to inform everybody here that it hasn't gotten to the president yet. I met with the head of legislation. He's still tidying up a few things on the bill, on the act actually. And once he's done tidying it up, then it can be sent to the president for his assent. And so at this point in time, it is not like the president hasn't signed it. It is not with the president yet. It will be with him. This bill has been a long time coming. When I took office, we had to withdraw the bill and relay it. We took it through winnowing. The winnowing had to see certain parts of the bill taken out. And so the final bill you will see is also different in a few ways from the one that has been on social media. Somebody sent me a copy, and that is actually the bill that was withdrawn. So the bill you are seeing is not the final bill. However, a lot of the parts, a lot of the clauses still remain the same. There are a few more schedules that we added to it. There are a few clauses we had to delete because of constitutional issues. And so if you followed the discussion, you would have realized there was a lot of haggling on when it got to the political parties, when it got to independent constitutional bodies, because those were where those constitutional issues cropped up. But apart from those, most of the clauses will remain the same.
Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe wano your running mate edema Dr. Baomiani ni wadi atu eja se abato ebeko so afi na no na betre ndache insem nyina wadi tu dwa broko premu ewo dentra eno ewo mfimfini mantemu no nya de hye wo honom ehwetwe nkomo
Turuka
abato na ye beto no 7 December no aye modachi abato na ye be ye beto no se na modachi abato ye beto every say a check crowd of the free such as a hit me a day and yeah or say so was the car I got free such as on this car but yeah but go play or see some free such as the get by I got part of corona day yeah quantum about my day quantum about my day you know see him to me about any day Sadi bakwada na kasa opo akwen to mame me channel student teacher training allowance we bo sa pagi no kasa no o dey free SHS dey be call you and so you also dey say oh yeah ne ba call free SHS dey you and say but I don't move you no to call free SHS yes they be free happy be the Roma and then they nursing training what you say the bye all the free SHS bye so mama you do Otoma to dey Otoma opobo say the free SHS on for so me moi Otoma nursing training na do back for me moi we over for the Juma obeja teacher training na ko we over for the Juma obeja say we onye Juma ye me moi so papa do ma do koko fu a koko bu say dey say koko aye tutum no ebi asida come the buy no why the teacher dey do carry ha why no ba kaja free why no ba show free na am yourself dey dey say you am yourself and then your boss say about 20 cities your boss this is say ba na obi a be onye for so be
yeah, to akase no so no ba panyini edema dentra eye nana ama ayensu asara nene wa mayate ase se nsem bi ade hye bi no mekekan de fo no nyamfo Matthew Opoku Prempe ho no se wo mu ade na o ya hantan ne dwe no entisa ne mo ka no kre oyo no kwafo a oka asem no tise ne etia
ye mu bi enim dada no Honorable Opoku Prempe e wo moja e wo nintinim Elunti se okasa akukudrom na oye de dwuma so a oye ni yei elunti ikofo afada kukudro ne se oye imbi ana so se onwuade sa sunsun na de nsra ye wo ye hu no
ana de bebo adwadifo ene wona wo wonsa ne nyume nyina
among MDs America. We will near the traders and artisans. All the whole Ghana, Obakawabum, Ifwa, Naza, Osafata, Azamon. We champion, wash away near Sunday. Traders and artisans were on which him. I want you to be in them, I want you to be there.
ya to akase ne se wa ma hodo so nsem mu ne be frase e wo Kenya man no emu ade hye bi no maka wo ho abomu aye oye kire e wo man no ahinkro Nairobi a woye kire ni mu no apostifo kopie mu e wo honom na senti a woye oye kire ni nyina ne se woye e de etie opanyina wote egwamu e wo ho ayo ni munyamfo William Ruto someone resign in from ampanyini egwane so.
More protests in the Kenyan capital as businesses in Nairobi remain closed. Demonstrators clashed with the police on Thursday. Building on the concessions they won in weeks of demonstrations, people are calling on President William Ruto to resign. Following the recent protests, he fired his entire cabinet and included opposition members in what he called a broad-based government. But it appears that for some, this was not enough.
I am protesting for the people who lost during the march, who are asking the government for accountability. I am protesting for the people who have missed out on so many opportunities because of broken systems. I am protesting.
Thursday's clashes came as Ruto's new cabinet was sworn in. Protesters are calling for far-reaching reforms to tackle corruption and for an improvement in service delivery. But other major towns and cities that took part in earlier demonstrations appeared to have remained calm. Ruto has condemned the protests, urging Kenyans to stay away from them and saying that those who want change can vote him out in the 2027 elections.
Yeah, boy, the Nigeria mine na Nigeria man penny Ahmed Bola Tinubu e de ato bambo nyumo kwa hodro no animo ste wonye ne obetimi bia said the beya galamsa e koso wo mine mo na so betimi ate na man so ensuwa ene wo mine no chese japade ahodro wo na galamsa fo ye de ase no so etimi abafo.
The COS 32 participants of the National Defense College are here to hold talks with President Bola Tinubu on harnessing the mining industry for enhanced national security and development. One of the economic development priorities for President Bola Tinubu's administration is how to grow the sector's contribution of less than 2% to the country's GDP. This will also help reduce the over-reliance on the proceeds from crude oil production. The president has now directed security agencies to clamp down on illegal miners frittering away the country's commonwealth.
If we learn our lesson from what we have had over the years in the oil and gas production community, I think we must not rely on any mistake of exclusivity in the area of mining. We should understand that people live with the environment, and that environment is important to those who are in the area.
The commandant of the National Defense College that has graduated 2,871 participants since inception acknowledged the president's magnanimity in providing infrastructure for the college, but still requested that President Tinubu considers the completion of the college's permanent site in Abuja.
We shall also consciously include, areas of security concern, just like Mr. President has pointed out, regarding the mining industry. So these are, for me, the next steps for us to take.
The president granted their request and commended their in-depth research on diversifying the economy and also their knowledge of war and security. The 111 participants of the NDC COS 32 were drawn from the Nigerian Army, the Navy, the Air Force, police, ministries, departments and agencies, as well as 19 international participants from Africa, Asia, Europe and South America.
Yeah, that's why I want Nigeria mine no yet record so I want Nigeria mine of baby and mobna wo koji state de wanfa won ho anhye mo na so ama ikobi en sha ban no ase any state ni mu mpanimfo akabo mo aba won abaso.
Citizens are still counting their losses in the aftermath of the recent nationwide protests. The protest, spearheaded by the youths, aims at getting the government of the day to address prevailing economic hardship in the country. While the protest was peaceful in few states, it turned bloody and led to death, stealing and brigandage in others. But in the midst of the confusion generated by the nationwide protest, Kogi State stands out. This youth-based group says it is necessary to appreciate and commend the support of the citizens towards ensuring peace across the state.
The reality are there. The people believe in him. The direction is very clear. And that is why you see it's as if it was a magic that the people of Kogi State didn't participate, because the direction of the government is very clear and they believe and trust in the leadership of the governor. That is why you can see that we embrace peace and maturity that has been displayed in the course of the nationwide protests.
The group believes the state governor has demonstrated an uncommon administrative competence. It says Ahmed Ododo also domesticates policies initiated by the Tinubu-led government to reduce the rate of poverty, improve security, and boost the economic fortune of the state.
The leadership of this nation under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken some steps. In the next few months, the refineries are going to kickstart and they'll be working so that the fuel price will go down considerably. And nevertheless, we enjoy all youths to be peaceful and law-abiding. And remember, we can always protest only when we have a country to do so.
Electricity Regulatory Agency, Energy Commission, free examination registration law for public schools, and security enhancement are some of the gains of the administration the group says will contribute to redressing economic hardship. The non-governmental group believes the cooperation enjoyed by the governor from the youths of Kogi State amplifies the true reflection of his acceptance, good leadership direction, and belief in his capacity to deliver the much-needed dividends of democracy to the people.
TV and Reno Naika Siena when you saw wishing and some of Japani, Elia Sumi and Yedi Makotini Ebi, and ye Dr. Alhaji Baumia, Elin Sembi to dry for mining export tax in a home. Sanson or software was show ma, more friend named Memana Finso, a man sign bamboo, Unimuniam for Dakua Newman, and so a bomb machine your father so affirmation action bill no. What you had to moon, some winning them for Frank home, and I'm a Jabba Sumi, a casino live. Ewo Facebook Fast TV GH YouTube nso Fast TV GH hwa na wa comment wa like na wa share de amaya ya hana bebe makwan na me de kase ni nyina ese midin e de na na ekwa danse wa makramo.